All right. Oh, Exordium Mors is a New Zealand-based black thrash metal band. I would say black death thrash metal band out of Auckland, and I think they're up to a quintet at this point. Um, and they've been around for quite a while now. I think they started somewhere around 2004 and put out their first demo tape, I believe, in 2007, and they've kind of expanded upon that sound since. It's always been variously compared to like Absu, and probably because of the mix of vocal styles, the highly technical approach to sort of a black and thrash metal influenced sound. But they've always been a little bit more brutal than that would suggest. They definitely had more of a bestial or just a death metal style uh, sort of drumming component to their sound, and that always, I think, set them apart with that type of sound. I think still their work has generally landed in that uh, sort of thing that became more popular after bands like Milikesh and I think after Terra released, we saw a lot more of these bands here and there. There are some who just been around for a long time too, like Bloodstorm and Summon. Some of my favorite stuff. I really enjoy it. With this band, I always felt like there was a little bit of like an Angel Corpse or something like that touch in there. So it's fitting that they eventually got I think the original drummer from Diocletian in the band, and he's more of a recent addition as far as I know. And I think they were all set to release this record, their second record, back in 2019, but that didn't work out for probably obvious reasons. And so it's been a long time since they released their debut. I think that was a 2014 album. It was pretty good. It was sort of it's a kind of a one-track mind kind of record. It's pretty appropriate for that style. They're really just buzzing from song to song and hitting as many riffs as they can with a very they color each song with a lot of vocal styles, a lot of sort of austere melodies, and a lot of thrash metal influence. So there's a lot to take in. It's a very intense band from start to finish with their discography, and this latest album is just especially good. Um, I think they've done a fine job of incorporating more just straight heavy metal influences into the melodic side of the band. I think that the instrumentation in terms of the guitarists they were always at a high level, but I would have compared their earlier work to like a Scythian or something like that back in the day, because there is an element of death thrash, but they're obviously interested in black metal primarily as a mode of expression. So uh, they've just continued to improve in the interim, and you could hear it on the previous song back in 2019, and everything sounds a lot better here on this album. And it's just kind of one of those records that if you are in it for riffs, if you're in it for impressive feats of instrumentation, but you want something more sophisticated than the usual bullshit. This is sort of a rare form. It's a rare thing we don't get a lot, so I'm pretty hyped up about it. It definitely is one of the better releases of October, and one of the ones I've listened to the most. I think they decided to eventually just release this themselves. I think it's coming out just on vinyl for now, and I think they're about to announce CD at least, and or cassette at least. So it's probably again one of the best releases of October if you enjoy that style of black thrash that has a death metal component, but is certainly of a type that yeah, I unfortunately a lot of comparisons come out just because I'm excited about that type of music, but I would say they've got their own voice, and a lot of that comes through with a little bit of it's almost like a neoclassical influence, and some of it's just tons and tons of riffs, and just go ahead and enjoy that. That's sort of my take on it. Is just it's one of those records that I can just sit with for hours and enjoy, and I just let it go. So go ahead, read the review, figure out how that sounds to you, and do with that what you will.